Hey everybody, I want to talk about my books that I want to read in March. So I'm a pretty big mood reader, so I'm just going to talk about 10 books that I'm hoping to read in March. So first, we've got to open our book of the month. This is my first time getting book of the month. It looks pretty cool. It came to the mailbox, not my door. And it was, let me think. So to add the books, I added two books. That was $37, and then I had a discounted price for credits. So that was like, I think $9 or $12. Okay, let's open it. Okay, this is how they're packed in there. They're just loose, which I think is pretty good for like no plastic. I like that. It says fiction forward. So the first book I got called Liquid. And this one is about this woman who's trying to use like her smarts to find herself a like spouse, but she's like this really smart scientist. I think she's a scientist. Let me see. Okay, and she's using like a spreadsheet, and she's going to go on 100 dates to find this perfect person. So, pretty cool. Liquid, pretty cool cover. Let's see what it looks like underneath here. Ooh, it's a very pink book. I like that. And then we have The Bones Beneath My Skin. And it says on the back, we're separated by time and space, and yet somehow we're all made of dust and stars. I will never forget that. You will never be alone, because I will always be with you. And this one is about like a road trip they go on, and then they meet a person in a cabin who's trying to protect this girl, and then they decide, they're going to help them. So, The Bones Beneath My Skin. So these two, Liquid and The Bones Beneath My Skin, I'm not planning on reading this month, but I might. But they're not on my TBR. This one, though, Spitting Gold. Look at the cover. This is the one that was actually my... I think this was my actual book. Let me see if it says. Okay, so you get a bookmark. You get like a little... advertisement that tells you what won this year in their contest. I haven't heard of the Lolly contest, but... And then you get like a little pamphlet about book of the month. Bookmark. But I think this or Liquid was my actual pick for the month. But I wanted this one because it reminded me of Mortal Follies by, who is that by? I can't remember their name right now. But Mortal Follies is really good. And it's set in like I think it's set in 1800s. And this is set in 1866. And it says, when Baroness Sylvie Devereaux receives a house call from Charlotte Moth, the sister she disowned, she fears her shady past as a spirit medium has caught up with her. But with their father ill and Charlotte unable to pay his bills, Sylvie is persuaded into one last con. The remarks are de jacquenots, dysfunctional aristocrats who believe they are haunted by their great aunt, brutally murdered during the French Revolution. The scheme underway, the sisters deploy every trick to terrify the family out of their gold, but when inexplicable horrors start to happen to them, too, the duo question whether they really are at the mercy of a vengeful spirit, and what other deep, dark secrets might come to light. So this is number 1 on my TBR for March. I'm really excited to read this. This is by Carmela Locus. It has like a little blurb about them. So I'm excited to read this one, Spitting Gold. And then the next books, I'm going to put pictures up. So next on my TBR, I have 10 books total. Excuse me. Atena and the Firebird. This is a graphic novel about a mermaid, a firebird, and a witch. And it looks interesting. The art is really pretty so far. I've only read like one page to see kind of if I was going to like it. And then Confounding Oaths, which is actually the sequel to Mortal Follies. But I think it's like a new story. Like it doesn't follow the same people. So I'm excited to read that because I like Mortal Follies so much. I read Mortal Follies last year, and I'm still thinking about it. And then All That Consumes Us is a book about like an elite school, but it turns out this school has secrets, and there are like these 2 women who are accepted to the school, but one of them goes missing, the other one is looking for her. And then Mish and the Bad Demon. So this is a graphic novel about this girl or a demon that's like obsessed with the fairy world, and she's not great at being a demon, but she goes on an adventure. So we see how she changes and what does she change into. And yes, so it looks really good so far. I've read about maybe 5%, very little of it. And then Bellegarde is a book about kind of fake dating, and it's set in, I think, Paris in, is it the 1900s or the 1800s? But it's about this girl who lives in a bakery. Her parents run it, her family runs it, and they bake for royalty. And she like fake dates a duke or a prince. So that one looks interesting. The cover really got me on that one. It's a very pretty cover. And then A Guest in the House. This one is by E.M. Carroll. I've been reading everything by E.M. Carroll that I can find. And this one is about a woman gets married, but then her husband is maybe not who he says he is. So I'm excited to read that. I've read about maybe 30% of that. And then Mabuhay, I may be saying that wrong, but it's about this I think they're a Filipino family, which it has a lot of folklore, and there's stuff that starts happening to them where these witches are trying to take the kids, and the kids have to fight off the witches with the rest of their family, and their mom has secrets. So that one's really interesting. The art's really cool. And then the last two books are Paola, Santiago, and the River of Tears. So that one looks interesting. It's about the what's the name of that woman who she like haunts the river and the water and tries to take children. La Llorona, is that how you say it? So I'm excited to read that. It has something to do with the twist on that story. And Paola goes on an adventure and meets her, and has to they have to he goes on an adventure, and he's meeting this ghost woman. And then the last book that I have on my list is another graphic novel, Artie and the Wolf Moon. And it's about this kid who finds out secrets about his family, or her family. I don't remember their family. And it has to do with werewolves. So that was an interesting story. And that one's a library book, so I probably have to read that one first. And Mabuhay is a library book, so. But yeah, those are the 10 books I want to read in March. I'll probably read different books, but these are books that I want to definitely finish. So I'm going to start reading Spitting Gold today. And the cover is just so pretty with the frogs and the hands. I like this a lot. So I'm excited. And I'll do a reading vlog. But yeah. Alright. Catch me later. I'll see you guys. Have fun out there. Check out the links in the description and my bio. Bye.